Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. And I'm without my microphone. Give me 2 seconds and I can fix that. If you are also having one of the Mondays Monday, please let me know in the comments how your Monday is going, or maybe it's going like mine where things are a little bit out of order. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, I think you guys can hear me now, right? My name is Janelle Villiers, and I am your host of the Janelle Villiers podcast, where I talk about things about how to help you guys write your books. I give you tips for how to monetize your books, and I also interview people who are authors, so that way they can share their stories about how they became authors as well. Good evening, Birdie. And sometimes I also interview people who don't have their story out yet, but their story is so important that it's worth sharing. And so I'm excited because today we're going to be talking about a topic that I'm excited to talk about. It's a little bit different from where we normally go, but we're going to be talking about how AI won't replace consultants who do this. And you might be excited about this topic too, right? I know I am, because I have recently gone to get certified for being an AI consultant. And so I think in this age and space where a lot of people are writing books and things like that, they want to know, okay, well, like, how's AI going to replace me? Am I replaceable? What are the things that I need to know? So I really wanted to get into some of this, so that way we can start to learn and understand how this impacts us and what we're doing, how it impacts the books that we're writing, and everything else in between. If you have questions, please put the questions in the comments as I go. Don't you worry, I've got notes because I don't want to miss a thing. But yeah, I've got notes so that way we can make sure that we cover all of our bases. Okay, so what happens is that consultants are using AI in ways that weaken their authority, if I'm going to be honest. Many consultants feel the pressure to use AI right now, and I totally get that one because everyone is using them to talk about prompts or how you can automate things or how you can like make things more efficient. And so the focus has shifted to speed, really, right? Like, how quickly can you get things out, and volume. Right? Is this relatable? Can people understand what I'm saying? Oh, I see some comments. Let me pick those up. Yeah, exactly. So what I want to talk about is how sometimes it's, I guess the thing is, okay, right? Like the thing that has happened is that there's been this shift, right? This shift to speed and volume. But something that's a little bit more subtle and kind of like underneath all of this is that authority is quietly really being diluted. Why is that? And that's because AI makes it really easy to produce content that really sounds good, right? It even sounds smart. The thing is, though, intelligent or sounding intelligent is not the same thing as having actual intellectual property. So creating IP, that takes risks. So a lot of times thought leaders begin publishing ideas that are not really fully theirs, right? Because they're using AI in order to create that. And their thinking becomes blended with a lot of generic language. And over time, their voice can become basically less distinct. You don't sound unique in your marketplace. And when your voice becomes not as unique, a lot of times people don't trust you as much. Your positioning blurs, and your authority definitely is going to be a lot less strong. So the real issue really isn't AI. The issue is that using AI before your thinking is clearly structured, that's the issue. So I think we need to talk about how, well, first, why like normal AI advice tends to fail in most consultants. And that's because it's built around, again, this productivity thing, right? Like, must get things out faster, right? Must automate things and all that, which is true, right? You can create more content faster. You can automate your marketing. I know I am one of those people. Repurpose everything. Let AI generate the ideas. And so a lot of this sounds efficient, right? But I think what happens is that we miss deeper questioning, and you start to not think about, well, what exactly do I need to scale? And that is what your IP is. So if what happens is that AI continues to like expand, or it amplifies, right? It like almost exaggerates this like vagueness. It's not unique. It's using generic words. And so it trains your audience to see you as like, look, I can interchange this person with anybody else because they're basically saying the same thing as a lot of other people, because it's not your IP, right? Like you're getting it from like this mass consumption that AI is consuming from. And so what you really need is clarity, something that makes you different from others. You need something that you can defend, like a thinking process that you can defend, that you can say is yours. And AI really doesn't create that. And that's the distinction, right? So AI is going to amplify what already exists. It's not going to amplify what's in your mind, right? Like the things that are going on with you and what you're creating. Yeah. Heck yeah, Bren. That's right. So, what I want you guys to understand this is I want you to start thinking more about strategy. And so what I want AI to do is I want it to amplify. I want it to I want it to look at your structure of your intellectual property, the way in which you think, how you think, the things that you've thought about that didn't concern other people. And maybe like you have sounding boards, we all have sounding boards, right? But then you come to this singular idea or framework that's yours, right? And so that's your intellectual property. And then you want it to amplify that, not what's already out there. So a better way to think of AI is it's basically like an amplification layer. Think of it like that. It's not necessarily the engine that thinks for you. So you are your own thinking engine, but all it does is it amplifies the ideas that come from you. So your thinking should exist before the tool. This means serious consultants should focus on three things first. Number one, you want to define your core frameworks. What are the steps people need to take in order to get to the transformation that you're going to be giving them? What problems do you solve repeatedly? What stages does that transformation move through? What language describes your method, right? Like what are the words that you're going to use to describe your framework? The second thing that you need to think about is you need to document how you're thinking about this. And documentation includes books. Hello. Books are, if you've been watching me talk about this in past episodes, you know that books are a great way to share how you think. It is your intellectual property. It's going to share your frameworks, the models that you use, certain principles that you now live by, right? And so that's the second thing. The third thing is that you need to focus on introducing AI only when you've already structured the following. You've already structured your voice, you've already structured your frameworks, and you already have clarity around your ideas and like your intellectual property, essentially, your unique thought, your unique way of doing things, your unique way about going through things, your unique way about thinking through things. Once you have that, and that is very clear, then you can start to use AI as a tool. Okay. So what I want you to start thinking about also is how you can start to provide proof or logic. And so a lot of times people who, the customers who you want to serve, they're not necessarily purchasing information. They're purchasing certainty, if that makes sense. They want to feel that this person understands the problem that they have deeply. They want to understand that the person has a clear model, a clear framework, and that they've solved this problem before. That's what they're looking for. So when you have your structured intellectual property, when you have your structured ideas, when they're clear, when you have your frameworks, AI can then help distribute that and apply it to different problems, right? So again, it's going to amplify your framework, your intellectual property that you already have. It's not going to create it for you or necessarily solve the problems for you. Because if it solves the problems for you, it's doing it in a very generic way. But we want your unique way, your unique strategy. And so some examples of some AI use that consultants have done that's actually kind of healthy is they use it to summarize existing frameworks. So they're like, oh, okay, this is my framework. It's kind of messy, but like, how can I summarize it or make it, condense it so it's not as long-winded? They adapt their thought process for different audiences. So it's like, this is my framework. These are the strategies, are the steps people have to do. Now, how would I share these for different audiences? How can I apply it to different audiences? And so it can also help you turn book ideas into learning systems. So again, creating your ideas and your steps and then turning into a system. AI can also be used to help support the internal, like the ideas that you already have. It can give you alternative language to use. And again, that's really helpful when you're thinking about multiple audiences. So all of this is really helpful, and that AI is serving your thinking. It's not doing the thinking for you. It's not replacing your thinking. And this is what's going to preserve your authority. So I really want to go back to the book, because you guys know that's what I love to talk about is books. And I really want to circle back to, this is where the book becomes super important. In fact, it's like a very powerful tool or even an asset, because a book does something that AI can't do. It actually forces you to be super clear about what your framework is, what your ideas are, what your steps are. And writing a book requires you to answer these questions. What do I actually believe? What is my framework? What problem am I solving? And what path do clients follow with me? Right? It becomes super clear. And that's what people are looking for, right? So then that clarity becomes your intellectual property. Those answers, the answers there becomes yours. It's your ideas, your framework, all the things, all the steps. And so then you can ask AI at that point to then organize it. You can ask it to distribute it. You can ask it to extend it or expound. You can ask it to help different organizations apply your tools, right? Yeah, so your book becomes a core data set for your authority. Without the foundation, AI is just producing noise, to be honest, guys. You really need to put in your thoughts first. And so that's how you can start to use AI as leverage once you put in your ideas, your unique way of thinking about things. Yeah, absolutely, Bren. Yeah, AI serves your thinking. It does not think for you. 100%. Yeah. And so AI perfects what you write into a clear message. Yeah, it's really good at doing that. It's really getting to do, but it didn't think of the idea for you, right? You thought of the idea first, and then it just helped to clarify. Or you maybe use different language to share it to different audiences. 100%. Yeah, great ideas. Okay, so I've been talking for a long time. If you guys have questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat. If you found this valuable, go ahead and put a V in the comments. Any questions, again, put them in the comments. I read all of the comments. So even if you're watching this live, put an L if you're watching this live. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and put an R in the replay. But if you have questions, I watch the replay. I look at all the comments to answer any questions. So please feel free to do that. This is an important topic. I don't think a lot of people are talking enough about it. And so I'll leave you guys with this. If you are a consultant, if you're a coach, if you're a founder, an advisor even, let's not lie to ourselves. AI is going to be a part of your future. It is. It just is. The Pandora's box is open and we can't close it back now. We're here now. So we're not really questioning whether AI is going to be present in what we do. What we're really here questioning is whether AI will scale your authority or if it's going to soften it, really. And the difference comes down to one thing, and that's structure. When your intellectual property, when how you think, your steps, your strategy is clear, AI becomes a leverage system, your voice stays intact, and your authority is just going to grow stronger. If your thinking is not yet structured, that is what the real work is. You need to really start thinking about what is your framework, what are the steps, all of the things. That is really where you need to put your focus now and your energy. I see Verdi said, so sites like Humbot will clear your writing if AI has paraphrased for you. Is Humbot an AI tool? Is that what you're saying, Verdi? That Humbot will clarify things for you or leverage your authority. Yeah, exactly. You can use it to spread the word, to help share your thinking to different audiences. Exactly. So really, I really want you guys to start thinking about what are your thoughts? What is the problem that you know you can help people solve? Where do you know you can help people transform to? What is the transformation that's going to take place? What are the steps that they need to take in order to get to that transformation? And then if you're writing a book, what you end up doing is then you end up writing the stories, the experiences that illustrate how those steps work to get the reader to the other side of the transformation. And honestly, guys, I've just totally rearranged my 2-day masterclass coming up tonight and tomorrow. If you haven't already, please register. I'll put the link in the chat. But what I want you to know is that this is exactly what we're talking about. It's one of I love doing this with people. I love helping people get clear on the transformation that they're giving the reader, and then figuring out, like, reverse engineering, and then figure out what the steps are to help them get there. And then figuring out how you're going to fill those steps, right? Well, how are you going to explain to them how to take these steps? Oh, okay, it's by storytelling. You're going to share a story that helps illustrate how they take these steps and how those steps get you or the reader to that transformation on the other side. I mean, that's really what this is all about. So really think about this. I want you guys to seriously think about your ideas, how you get people to the other side of their problem. How do you get people to the transformation? What is that transformation? What are the steps involved? Those are the things that you should really be thinking about. And if you're clear on that, if you already know what that is, then you can use AI to help amplify your message. Because serious operators invest time building intellectual property before they scale it. And that is a path to trust at scale. Yay, that is it. That is it. That's what I got for you. Hold on one moment. Let me add the link to the chat, because I know some people were asking about that. This is going to be for the scholarship, but it'll essentially register you for their masterclass as well. Hold on. Let's see. Where can I find this link? All right. So go ahead, and it's going to say apply, but essentially you're just registering. I mean, you could also technically apply for the scholarship as well. I look forward to seeing many of you tonight, if you're going to be joining me on the 2-day masterclass tonight and tomorrow. If not, then I will see you next week. I'm excited to talk to you about some more tips and tricks. Again, if you found this valuable, go ahead and put a V in the comment section. If you have more questions, go ahead and put those questions in the comment section as well. I check all of them. I will get back to you, I promise. Until then, everyone, have a great rest of your night, your day, your tomorrow. Take care. Bye.